all of us.
No,
So
you're doing it properly, man. I've been seeing it. You're picking the right individuals, and it's like, it's like some family oriented type stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like everyone moves like that, it seems. So no, it's sick. I respect it.
Yeah,
sick.
thanks, man. I enjoy doing this too. Like, it doesn't feel like work. Like,
Yeah, because you're just having a conversation,
we're chatting,
You're learning.
and I'm learning. I get to ask artists about, how they like doing their mix and what it's like being in the studio. And like, I've been doing this, not this podcast, but like I've been in music, like recording and making songs for like 15 years now, like half my life. So I've seen a lot of different ways to do it, and met a lot of different people and a lot of styles, and I'm really into it. You know? So I enjoy asking questions. And
what do you think striked that? Like, where do you think that was? Do you think you were born with that, or why? Like, why music?
I mean, when I was like 4, I got put into piano lessons.
Yeah.
And was forced to do that for a long time. And despite all my tantrums and crying and having to practice, and it was like something that was forced by my parents. Well, specifically my mother was like, "Oh, you should do this. Music's good for you." And so for years and years and years, I played piano, like 12 years, took lessons and did concerts or whatever they're called, performances. And I didn't like it. Once I was old enough to make my own decisions and be a teenager, I started picking up other things. I was able to like leave piano, and I took up alto saxophone in high school.
That's sick.
And that was really cool. And I played in the band at the school. So there was like regular concert band, then there was marching band, and I was in the jazz band after school. So I was
God,
deep into the sax.
Damn,
for
just
another like
music.
5-7 years. So
that's crazy.
and around that time is when I started getting into hip hop. So I had like a musical. I've been doing music since I could remember, right? So it's just
kind of
it was just always there, right?
Yeah.
But it wasn't until I discovered hip hop that I was like, oh, I like this. This is something that I could see myself doing,
Yeah. That makes sense.
And now as an engineer, I feel like it wasn't all a waste. All those years of piano maybe actually trained my ear and made me a better listener.
Definitely, I could see that.
So I like to see like the silver lining in all of it,
Yeah, that's a good way not to be pessimistic with it, right? Just see the positive side. Anything in regards to music, like I wish I knew how to play piano, So, cause I'm going to Nimbus right now. I'm in like the artist development program, and like even that in general, like no disrespect to the program by any means, but like tapping into what you just said, like going back and just like learning like the basics, it really teaches you a lot of things. Because I've been like for the past year, I've been doing this and like just trying to like make it a success. And then when you go back and I don't know, they talk about management, and I've had management and just stuff like that, but it just makes you like rethink those things, and it humbles you, so yeah,
humbling experiences are important.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
if you don't have them, then you're just gonna be egotistical asshole.
Yeah, I think that's actually like a sign that you're growing. Those humbling experiences, it's kind of like a slap in the face. It's a bit of a wake up call, and it's like, oh, like, yeah, I wasn't doing it correctly, and this is what works, and I'm gonna have to realize that, even though it's tough to swallow. So how long have you been in this program?
I've been doing the Nimbus program probably since September, like the start of this month, basically.
Oh, okay. So
just started. New.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, another reason, obviously, other than getting the basics again, is just I'm part First Nations. So being part First Nations and coming from the highs of the nation, you get some funding from the government to like do these programs. So like doing that program, it's like obviously they're helping me do it, and they're also giving me some living allowance. So like I just thought like when like I'm trying to be like, this might sound like cliche or like cringy or something, but like basically my mentality coming from sports and everything, it's like if you're gonna do something, you got to be like 100% at it, right?
Yeah.
Like I dropped out of university, I did all of this to go 100%. So now that I'm dropped out of university, living in Vancouver, couch surfing and everything, I thought like, why not like go to Nimbus And like when I'm not doing music, I do music type of thing, you know? So I'm just always like go to Nimbus from like 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. After that, go to the studio, you know, just 24/7. That's the only way to get good at some repetition.
Yeah, man, you're fully immersed in it now, and you're expanding your toolbox by not just being good on the mic and in the booth, but learning some skills about the industry, learning how to be more efficient as a creative person, as an artist. And I think that's really important that they've got programs like that, you know, because I wish that I had that at a younger age. So many artists are really passionate and obsessed with what they do, but a lot of the time they're not putting their energy in the right places. And they're not, you know, they're spending too much time on the things that don't really count, as opposed to, you know, how can I really get noticed? How can I put my shit out there to the right people?
Well, especially in this day and age in Vancouver, like take Vancouver, for example, there's like thousands of artists that will, and like, I'm not trying to like I'm sure I have like done this a couple times. Like I'm playing the devil's advocate a bit, but what I'm saying is that there's a lot of artists out there that just like do exactly what you said, just try to push their career and don't ever take a step back and just be a student, you know? Like you always got to learn, especially at any step, you know? Look at the Jay-Z's, look at the Kendricks, so yeah.
Yeah, Jay-Z, wow. There's nobody like him, hey?
No, he's crazy.
40-ish?
Yeah.
40-ish and still like setting trends? Like,
no, he's a money-making man. Respect to that, bro. God damn.
Yeah, some people are lucky if they last 2 albums and are still relevant, but
how many albums has he had, do you know? Well, there's like how many is right there? There's
I've got 10 of his. You know, on Blueprint 3, he goes, I just got 10 #1 albums, maybe now 11.
Holy
and that was Blueprint 3 2009. So, and then since then he's put out another 2-3 albums. So yeah, let's call it like 14 #1 albums.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's the man you gotta look up to.
That's somebody you want to emulate for sure.
Yeah.
Not
He's
just as a MC, but as just like, these are all making moves, business, all that stuff. I mean, that guy's
no, definitely.
They'll probably be writing books about him. I know they already are, but maybe even business schools and shit like that will like make programs to emulate. Like,
they will.
Look at this career. This is just.
Will. Well, how about this? Create like not business, or I guess they're both pretty successful. Let's do business wise first. Business wise, Jay-Z or Kanye? What do you think? Take in mind all of Kanye, everything he's done.
Well, Jay-Z.
Jay-Z?
Yeah.
Okay, what about creatively? Would you go Jay-Z as well?
No, I would go with Kanye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with I agree with you. It's tough, right? Because well, obviously Jay-Z's like a fucking boss, but like, man, Kanye, like he was in what, $5 million debt or something, and they got out of that. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, and Kanye is also like a once in a generation artist.
Yeah.
Not just for, you know, the other artists that he signed and the people that he's helped bring up, but just how I feel like he almost single-handedly has like changed the landscape of hip hop. Like,
literally.
If you go back to you know, College Dropout, that was still hip hop, but then you go to Graduation, and that was when I was like, okay, we're in a new era now.
Yeah.
What is this? This is something I've never heard before. He's still rapping, but the beats and the production was like from another decade. He was at least 10 years ahead of his time.
Yeah.
And then he's still continuing to do that, and you know, Yeezus, for God's sakes, and just
oh my God, yeah,
all these things. Just like
it's crazy, man.
Nobody sounds like that.
No,
and then when he comes out, everyone tries to sound like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No, there was that effect, man. I was listening to College Dropout yesterday. Like that song, it's like it all falls down. I'm living it. Yeah, bro, it's so
where
good.
he's in the airport rapping in the mirror.
Yeah, bro. That
but you can't see the cameraman somehow.
No, it's so sick. Oh my God. He killed it, man.
Yeah. Yeah, he came out with like he came out and he was the only guy rocking like pink polos and like cardigans, like green cardigans, and with like a button up underneath, and we're like, everything about this guy is new and different.
Like what do you
that's what we needed, you know. And
I respect it because he's still managing to stay relevant, even though he's like, you know, like there was that song with like Lil Pump, like you're such a fucking, like I'm not a huge fan of that song, but respect to the man of like a bit, like I'd say dropping his ego a bit and like trying to stay relevant with the kids. It's crazy.
Yeah. Like he's smart. He's smart. He sees who else is making moves, and you know, it's like keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. Not saying that they're enemies, but it's also like he realizes that's competition. So it's like, let's work together instead of, you know, maybe creating a beef, or you know, if we can make a song together, then
that's one
both
thing.
Get rich. So.
Literally what you just said. That's one thing I've noticed, and I haven't been in this music industry for long, but for the past year, competition over collaboration wins every time.
There you go.
That's collaboration.
Collaboration.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Oh my God, Jesus. Collaboration over competition wins every time. Yeah.
That's a T-shirt we should make. You know,
and you have to. But everyone in this fucking, I don't know. I don't want to rant on this podcast, but there's just a lot of cats that are just trying to compete with each other when they should just be collaborating. You know, especially early stages with Vancouver.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the theme, dude. That's been the theme on the show. Is let's all work together and put our city on the map, you know.
But every other one, all the other artists you've interviewed have been saying those things?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
that's
like
crazy.
It's ridiculous. We all seem to have this same vision, you know, and people are really echoing my sentiments when I say that. Like if we all help each other make this a place, then all the eyes will be turned to this place, and all the artists that are here are going to get looked at. You know what I mean? It's just like, someone used the analogy of like looking up at the sky through a telescope, and it's like the universe is all the artists in the world, but right now, like the telescope is just focused on Toronto. Like that little lens is that shooting at that Toronto is that space in the sky, right? We just got to shift that telescope over.
You have to.
So
and that shift comes with what, do you think?
It comes with dropping Vancouver in all your songs. You know, look at those guys that Drake, every other song mentions Toronto, right? Like we need to be really proud of where we're from.
Yeah, proud. That's the word.
That's what it is. It's not
proud.
Be really proud of where we're from, and make people realize like what a great place this is, and all of these hits and these new songs and singles and things that we're putting out. Like put Vancouver on that name. Like this is from Vancouver. People want to know Boslen's dope, but I want to know his story.
Yeah.
Where did he grow up? Where is he from? Exactly. What studio does he record at? Who are his engineers? Like, oh, these are all, look at this crew he's got from Vancouver. And then all of a sudden, you know, people like stories, man. There's got to be a narrative. There's got to be something behind it, you know, behind just the artist that they see on SoundCloud. So I think that's a huge part of it. Repping the city hard, being proud of where we're from, and that's building together.
That's one thing I'm like coming into conclusion with is just, man, like, because I'm from like the valley, you know, I'm from Chilliwack. So like, I always get this question when you're on interviews, when you're talking to like people, what do you rep, Chilliwack or Vancouver? And I'm like, you know, it's kind of like the same in a way, you know, like the valley and Vancouver, obviously completely different areas. It's just, I don't know, man.
The area, I mean, even if it's West Coast, you know, you know, back, remember when it used to be like Tupac and Biggie, it was like, you know, or Jay-Z and Nas in New York, and then you had Snoop and Dre and all those guys, Ice Cube on the West, and it's like West Side, like,
man.
Throwing up their W's and stuff. But we knew, oh, okay, that was their team. You're from the West. These guys are from the East, and you got your TIs and stuff from down South. So, yeah, man, just.
No, I'm always gonna rep the Valley because that's where I was born. That's where my mama lives. But Vancouver, that's what's actually like. That's where I'm at now, you know. That's where I'm working. So
yeah, that's what it says on your profile.
Yeah,
on Boslen.
It does. Yeah, it does.
You got your big banner there, and then Vancouver, and I love that. So what are you working on right now that you can tell us about that like the fans might be interested to hear about?
At the moment, I got a single releasing in I think 5 days with Manila Gray. That's exciting. I think. And then right after that, this is actually the first time I'm like actually talking about it, but I guess, so yeah, 2 weeks right after that, I'm dropping another single on all platforms. And then 2 weeks after that is the EP. So like this time right now, it's just substance and like just a bunch of content. I'm really excited. Lyric videos are coming. We already got the full, I know everybody's been talking about Lightspeed. So like we got everything going for Lightspeed and all that stuff. So I'm really excited, man. Because it's like this whole, ever since like what? I think Motionless 2. Yeah, ever since Motionless 2, I've just been working on like songs, just studio time, trying to just pick the right ones for a good quality project, you know? So I'm excited.
When you do a project and you decide to, it's not just a single, but I'm putting together a body of work here. Let's say, will you record more than you need and then cut it down and say, I've got 20 songs here, but we're only using 14 of these.
Well, like for instance, at the beginning of summer, this was before I even met Buck and like all of them and all the people, like even like Natasha and all of them, honestly, and like the whole team that we have now. I made 22 songs, I think, and I was like, okay, I'm ready to drop it. Here we go. That was going to be in like June, and then Isaac, the brainiac, he was like, yo, you should probably just sit on this. You don't know what opportunities are going to come this summer. I was like, nah, like I want to drop this. And like we almost got in a big fight about it, but I trusted his word. And then we thankfully made like some more connections and made some good, healthy relationships with some more people and producers. And yeah, now we built like, I think a better project that I'm like much more confident to drop.
Great.
Yeah.
Let it mature a little bit.
Exactly.
Right? Before opening the bottle.
Man, like if I dropped this stuff before, oh my God, it was cringy, man. Now that I look at it,
What, when we talk about like, it wasn't ready, was it like there weren't enough songs, the mixing wasn't ready, you redid lyrics? Like, what are we talking about?
I would say that it wasn't, it didn't follow brand guidelines, that's for sure. It was like kind of sporadic, the project itself. And it wasn't the quality of work that I want to be represented as me as a human. So like, because the music I have now, like for instance, if I did drop that in June, I think like one thing that advice that I really took that to heart that was really good is this: you need to build a platform for yourself as an artist. You really need, because let's say you have the best songs in the world. Let's say you have a Grammy nominated song or something. No one's going to hear it if you have, let's say, 1,000 followers compared to 100,000 followers. You know, you need to build something. You need to build the groundwork. And like, that's one thing, it's one thing that stuck with me is just patience. And that's one thing I learned from rugby, is just being patient and understanding that more opportunities are going to come to get you to a platform where that music that you spend hours in the studio to make, where you put your emotions into it, that will get its platform that it deserves if you be patient. So for instance, through the summer, like I went to Toronto, I met with some producers out there. I met a very like close friend of mine now. He goes by the name of Ozcan. And we made the song Hidden Nights, and we made a couple more joints on the project that's going to be dropping. So just, yeah, man, just being patient. And I think the project, to answer your question, the project before definitely, it just wasn't matured enough. It wasn't a Boslen that I wanted to be represented. Yeah.
But you feel good about it now.
I feel very excited. I am very, very excited to drop this project. Yeah. No, I'm buzzing about it. I listen to it every day. Yeah.
And, so you were in Toronto. Is that where you recorded most of this, or
we mixed one song out there? So basically, we went out there just to build some connections. Yeah. But I made one song that's going to be on the project. The song is called Press. It's produced by London CR. He was the producer of Can't Say.
Okay.
Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, I'm excited.
Who are you working with? Obviously, besides Kellen, who we both know well, who are you? Yeah, shout out to Kellen. Who are you recording with and engineering
in Vancouver
these days? Yeah,
Coulter Got Bounce. He's a crazy producer, engineer as well. I made a couple tracks with him recently. I think we're gonna be working on a project soon. Pops on a Beat. I made a song with him. He's a crazy producer as well. Who else? Nani Beats. I made the song My Ways. That's going to be on the project. And they work with guys like Crescent and stuff. And then one producer that I've been working a lot with recently, he goes by the name Nasty. And he's a DJ and producer as well, but he made the song Lightspeed. Okay,
perfect. A lot of these producers, if they make the beat for you, will they also handle the recording and mixing as well, or is that outsourced to like a mix engineer separately?
No, we definitely make like for instance, if we're in the studio, we have like a 6-hour session. They make the beat, and then we make a version. When I walk out of the studio, it's like demo ready. It's like 80% done.
Right.
And then I basically, if I for sure want it, then I go to the studio and I just sit down with the engineer and we mix it and get all the levels right, send it back, get the approval, we're good to go.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, and sorry, I forgot to mention Azel as well. He works with Manila Gray, great producer.
Wicked.
Yeah.
Okay. And so the last two, I guess, were they EPs or?
Yeah, man. Like let's call them EPs.
Let's call them EPs.
Let's call them EPs.
Multiple producers, multiple engineers.
Yeah. Those were very, sorry to cut you off, but those were like very like, I don't know if you could tell by the production, but all those beats I kind of found, they were just local producers and like maybe a low percentage of them I found online.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Really great stuff. I really like that you've got an actual singing voice.
Thank you very much. While I voice crack, but thank you very much.
But yeah, because for this style of music with this beat choice and subject matter and whatnot, obviously there's going to be autotune all over the place.
Yeah.
But I feel like you could almost get by without it. And it's impressive, like that you've got like a really good arsenal of tools and of skills. I really enjoy both of those projects. There's a lot of just like darkness and like real emotion in there too, man, that I was really struck me. And it's like it's not just your typical trap songs, and like I felt like you had some things to say.
Thank you very much. Well, like I dated a girl for 7 years, and like I'm only 20 right now, but like dating a girl for like 7 years, that's a long damn time.
Yeah, since you're 13 then.
Yeah, that is a long time.
Shit.
So I dated her for 7 years, and basically I played rugby for the same amount of time. So like those two things were like my life. And unfortunately, things happen for a reason, but like both those things had to come to an end. Basically around the same time. And that's when I made Motionless 2, because I felt just stagnant and I felt like just stuck, I was like, why am I doing this? Because I had tunnel vision to play for like Canada and, like marry this girl and all that stuff. But no, yeah, I learned a lot, and it was definitely a humbling time. And I think like when things like that happen, especially to the youth, like you can go to, because I come from the Valley, right? And all those people all they do is just, no, I'm not going to shit talk the Valley by any means. Because I'm not going to do that. Respect to the Valley. I love all you guys. Okay, I love it. But some people decide to just do some drugs. And if you want to do that, by all means do that. But all I'm saying is that when a person from given that area, as I'm watching my words, from a person from that area, when they face like a lot of depression and stuff, they turn to those things. So me being in that situation and facing a lot of depression, I instead of turning to that, I just turned to music. And that's where I appreciate you for saying that, because that's like probably one of the first times someone's ever said that to me, where they're like, yo, you actually have something to say, so I respect you for that. Thank you. Because I do, man. Like when a lot of consumers this day, man, especially in, I do this myself, but they don't really listen to the lyrics. They like melodies catch and the beat catch.
Yeah.
That's what's going to keep going. But what creates that longevity is the feeling of that song literally talking to you, or you being relating to it. Like, yo, this actually happened to me. So.
Yeah, being able to hear it and connect with the artist, and it's almost it heals you a little bit.
Yeah, man, it does.
Because it's like you're able to share a little bit of that experience with them, or that pain, and there's like a mutual thing going on there. So those are the songs that resonate with people and stand the test of time too. You know what I mean? They're not just about the flash and this and all that. There's some substance there, and so again, congratulations, and that's that takes a lot of courage too.
Being
to
vulnerable,
kind of
right? Be
vulnerable, open up a little bit. But I think that's the sign of a real true artist.
Thank you.
To be able to do that. So man, I can't wait for the next one.
I'm very excited.
I'm a fan.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah. You recently were performing at some pretty dope venues from the photos that I saw. I wasn't there, but do you want to share like some highlights from those shows? Like
one story I have to tell. So this was like probably like 4 months ago. I was opening for Lil Mosey at Venue, and taking mine, I have a torn ACL still to this day. I tore my ACL twice.
Oh damn.
So Venue, I don't know if any people are listening or like to know this, but basically Venue, you have the stage right when you walk in, right in front of you. You have two big stairs, probably 30 steps on the right and the left. And me being a fucking trying to just be wild and create moments, one of the songs came on, and while I was on stage, I went up these stairs, jumped on a balcony up there, so everyone's just looking up probably like 30 feet, and I was just rapping and they were going crazy. And then the next song came on. So I was like, fuck, I get it back to the stage.
Yeah.
So the next song's coming on. I'm trying to go down the stairs and I'm going down and I decide, because I have so much adrenaline, I skip the last 10 and I have the mic in my left hand and I land on my right knee and it pops.
Oh no.
And like, it feels like this crunch and it feels like, cover your ears if you think this is disgusting, but it literally feels like someone takes a sledgehammer to the right of your knee and everything explodes and your skin catches it and pushes it back in. That's what it feels like.
That's graphic, yo.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but like, bro, it's the worst feeling on this earth. Like,
dude.
So like, yeah, my knee popped and the mic was in my left hand. I was like, just biting my hand. I was like, oh my God. And eye for an eye was coming on. So like, oh my fucking God. And I was like, okay, let's just go.
Yeah.
So I went on stage, hobbling, jumping on one leg, ride slow, with the top down. Yeah.
Just going off of pure adrenaline at that point.
Pure adrenaline, man. The show must go on. People pay for it, right? You got to make those moments. But other than that experience, yeah. Shout out to Johnny Black. Thank you for the shot at Breakout. I appreciate it. Breakout was a fun experience. That opened the door to basically the AMS show that I recently did. And man, the thing is with doing these shows, it's really exciting. It's really fun, and I'm enjoying it. I'm saying this with a smile because like this is literally what I've been working towards. You know, just doing these, and these aren't even like I'm not even headlining. You know, I'm like a little opening act, but still, like I appreciate it, and it means a lot because I know that it's like in time I will be at the headlining spot. You know, it will happen. So, and it just feels like opportunities are coming, and yeah, just staying humble and sticking with the right people around. I'm sorry, I'm going off track a bit, but
no, please.
Yeah,
that's good.
I'm excited.
Are you like, how much time do you spend actually preparing for live sets?
Probably I spend 2 weeks to 3 weeks in advance. I do like around 8 to 7 rehearsals.
Okay.
Depending on probably for all shows, every show. Yeah, it's like probably like around an hour a day. And you just go over it with the DJ, making sure the chemistry is right. Shout out to Kelland. Yeah, that's about it.
Now, I've seen you with your shirt off.
Yeah, just a couple times.
You obviously do chin-ups or some sort of callus, something. Like you've been hitting the weights. You've been hitting the weights. Is cardio a part of that as well? Like to have good lungs when you want to get, because I've seen you like climb, you know, I've seen the shots, man, and you're pretty physical on stage.
You have to
do you do any cardio to actually be able to like be an actual circus performer and a rapper at the same time? Like,
I'm like a monkey out there. But yeah, man, no, definitely. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, yeah, I go to the gym every day.
Right.
I definitely do not. But I try to fit it into the schedule as much as possible. Cardio is definitely a factor. I quit vaping, and I hate the word vaping, but I quit vaping like 3 days ago, and I just threw it out the window because that was affecting my vocal cords, that was affecting my cardio, everything. So yeah, man, cardio is huge.
Yeah, it's really important. Not just in the booth, but you know,
jumping and rapping at the same time, climbing on things.
Jumping and rapping, yeah. I mean,
it's crazy.
Eventually, the fans, when they hear you online and they hear the music, they see the videos, they're going to want to see that person for real, and you better blow them away.
Exactly.
That live game better be amazing.
That's one thing I was learning at Nimbus that they were literally saying is just, and it's kind of common sense, but like just consistency with brand and everything. Yeah. From social media to the songs to live performances. That's what make great artists. Yeah. You know, just a full package. If you're consistent, and honestly, and that goes down to your personality, man. Like if you're just you got to treat like the CEO of a business the same as you treat a janitor. You have to, because and that's a cliche saying, but you actually have to do that, because if you're just a good human, man, better opportunities are going to come. Dude,
my friends, the Face Plants, were on the podcast last night, and they literally said that exact sentence.
Are you serious?
Like, being a good person, good things will come to you. And they were talking about, artists they looked up to that they got to meet, and they were just the coolest people ever, right? Yeah. And how important it is to just be really humble, be really cool to everybody, because you never know, first of all, you don't know who they are, but someone who's a janitor right now, they might be the owner of the studio in 5 years, and there might be an opportunity for you there. Exactly. So, and this industry's, as big as it is, it's also very small, because we all talk so much, and it's very tight knit. So, you don't want to burn bridges, and if you're a dick, then people are going to know that. People will find out pretty quick. They do. I don't want to work with that guy. No, literally, man. And not even
to build off that, but not even on the music side, man. Like I was raised by a single mom, you know, so like she like beat my ass if I was ever disrespectful to some people, you know. So yeah, carrying yourself in a proper manner is key.
Oh yeah.
So to any artist listening, man, just make sure you got a good team with you, be a good human, and shit will come.
Be a good human, people. Yeah.
Just be a good human. You know? You gotta practice what you preach. I'm sure I've been an asshole to many people. I'm not gonna be like, oh, I'm a saint. I'm not a saint at all. I've been an asshole. I've been egotistical.
Yeah.
I swear to God, it's probably gonna happen in the future. But I'm gonna do my best to make sure that I stay, you know, Corbin.
Yeah, we're human beings, and we're gonna make mistakes. But as long as you keep that, you know, as a conscious decision to try and be cool to people, try and get along well with everyone at the studio, and maintain a good reputation, right? Because it's just so important.
Because there's nothing like meeting, like imagine, because Kid Cudi is one of my biggest idols.
Oh yeah.
Imagine meeting Kid Cudi and just a complete asshole.
Yeah.
Like that would just shatter.
That would shatter everything.
A lot of things,
right?
Man. I can't listen to Up, Up and Away anymore. Like I can't listen to Day and Night.
Know what you mean?
But like, yeah, man, it goes. It's crazy.
So, you mentioned you were playing rugby for quite a while.
Yeah.
Was music also something that you were doing pretty heavily while you were playing sports, or like which one came first?
If I'm honest, I think music actually came first when I was like 13 years old to 12 years old. I was like making some like Alvin and the Chipmunks type stuff. My voice didn't even drop yet. So like I was making some cringy music. And I stopped. And then I picked up rugby for like 6 years and then got injured. But yeah, throughout that time, I was mainly focusing on rugby because it's just like training, everything. You didn't really have time. But like every now and then I would like pick up the pen again and just write some things down of how I felt, because I felt like writing things down was just a way for me to say things to not specifically individuals or anyone, but just to get it out of my system, you know?
Yeah.
And then as soon as the injury happened, I just switched. I was like, okay, music full time.
Did you have any big influences as a teenager or in high school that made you want to take this more serious? Like, oh, I want to write songs like that.
Yeah.
I want to do something. I want to be like that, you know?
Man, I used to listen to like Wiz Khalifa a lot, Kid Ink, even Mariana's Trench. Who else? I have 3 sisters, so they'd always blast Avril Lavigne in the house.
Okay.
But like, no, like I don't know, man. I'm trying to think, because my mom, me and my sister all grew up in a house. We didn't have any outside family, and we married into a family when I was like 8. And that's when the family got really big. I have cousins, nieces, everything.
I see.
But when we were growing up like that, there was a bit of music around the house, but it was mostly just me just either playing a sport or going to school or something. So I can't really sit here and say I did have a lot of influences. But definitely, like Wiz Khalifa, just the main people that I looked up to try to resemble.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I'm trying to think. Who else was it? I know there's more. Obviously, Kid Cudi. Fuck. I don't know. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I can't really think of any.
And at what point did you take these lyrics that you've been writing and these ideas and these feelings and actually decide like, oh, I need to find someone with a microphone?
Yeah, man.
Like, what was your first studio experience like? Or
oh my God, my first studio experience. This is a good question. When I was 14 years old, man, my mom had the basement. We had a Bowflex in there, and oh my God, so.
I remember those commercials.
Yeah, my mom bought one. Like, those things were sick.
Yeah.
And being a 14-year-old kid and seeing a Bowflex, you're like, bro, like, am I an X-Men?
Yeah.
But, so Christmas comes around. I get some money for Christmas. I buy myself, like, literally, I think it's a Shure mic, or like those mics you use for performing.
Yeah.
I bought one of those mics to record on. I bought a Scarlett 2i2 and I got a Kai Mini. And then I used the speakers off a laptop, off like an old like Windows computer, and I was just recording myself on Fruity Loops. That was my first studio experience, and I thought I was literally like, I thought I was Kanye West.
Yeah,
like I thought I was like, bro, I'm making like hits.
As you do, yeah. That first time when you hear yourself back, it's just like, oh, I'm a magician now.
I am
like,
a god. Like literally, bro. Oh my God, I love that. If I could find those tracks.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my first experience. And then when I got to university, picked it up to become serious.
Yeah.
Literally like weeks after I met Isaac. Yeah, man, I kind of did the same thing. But this time I had like Yamaha HS5s. I still had the Scarlett, and I had Fruity Loops still. But I was recording myself. I made a song Poppy, and I like mixed and recorded my whole songs. And basically, what started to motivate me was like on a Thursday night after class, I'd go home. I'd record myself and write the music. And then on a Friday night, we go to a house party. I'd plug in my music, play it, and just watch. And if I just saw the room move, it just literally made me feel like the craziest feeling, man.
Oh, wow.
So that's how it happened. And like, that's when I started feeling like, yo, I can actually do this. Cause people would come up to me like, yo, what song is this? I'd be like, bro. And I wouldn't even say it's me.
Yeah.
I would be like, oh, it's just some kid from Chilliwack.
Damn,
you know?
that's a really neat way to do your homework to see how people respond, right?
Well, like if someone says, turn this shit off. Yeah. Like, okay, well, I should probably stick to rugby, but.
Yeah.
It's
wow.
crazy,
So
bro.
just go there, throw it on, and kind of watch how people respond and react.
It's
and
like literally throwing yourself in like the lion's den, you know? Because they're drunk, everyone's like mingling stuff. They don't really, it's not enough pressure, you know? It takes a lot of pressure off you. So that's how I did it.
And to see which ones are hitting and which ones are missing.
Well, yeah, like even if you take Magic City, I forget where that is. It's either LA or Toronto, but literally Drake, Migos, all Murder Beats, they literally say on all their interviews, that's how they test their music. Tory Lanez, they go to these big strip clubs, they go to these huge clubs, hook up with the DJ, play an unreleased song, see how it does. They bring the A&R there, they see like, watch this shit. Okay, this is what's going to get you money. That's how it works. So I just did it as like a little hustle way at the beginning.
But you were doing that without knowing that that's how these other people did it, or
no, I didn't know at the time.
Yeah.
I just found that out probably like what I just said. I probably found that out like 2 months ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. It's crazy, man. It works.
What's been your biggest hit to date that's got the best response?
Eye for an fucking eye. That song, man. I made that song at university. I was probably 2 months in. I was just writing, and this was the time around when the girlfriend stuff wasn't working, and I was kind of just in a mindset of like fuck everyone. I'm just gonna fucking get it, like eye for an eye, cash for supply type of thing. I'll take the risk because I felt like it was literally on the tipping point where I felt, am I gonna do this full time or am I gonna stick to the cutout cardboard version of Corbin and just stick to university? Like, what am I gonna do? Because at the same time, I was getting evicted. Me and Isaac were getting evicted from university. So I'm getting off track, but yeah, we're getting evicted from university and I tore my ACL. So I was like, what the fuck is happening with my life? But yeah, the song, I made it. That was like the biggest hit I've made so far. But I'm excited to see how Lightspeed does.
Yeah. Yeah. And the new project. And what have been some big learning experiences for you, like since you started to where you're at now, about how you approach like, you know, releasing music? I mean, obviously you have a team now. You've got, I think you have a manager.
Yeah.
So is it just more like pumping the brakes, strategizing a little bit, not getting excited about releasing it right away, but kind of building a little bit?
Yeah, no, it's much more of a professional manner, man.
Yeah.
Like, I get to it because I make a song in the studio. I'm like, yo, I got to drop this tomorrow.
Yeah, right,
like,
right.
You just, and you listen to it every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's much more, you have a, man, I don't even want to call them a team. They're a family to me, man. Like, I have a family around me that support my music and see the same vision as I do. And they have my best interests in mind. So I'm always going to trust their opinions. But just taking it like as a group thing now, and like taking this career where having the mindset, I found that like what's really helped me was taking in the mindset that this music will pay for everything soon. It's gonna pay for like my manager to live and feed his family. It's gonna pay for my mom to get a house. It's gonna get my niece, like the 2-year-old niece, like a pearl necklace one day. Like I know it's gonna happen. It's just having that mindset and understanding that like, bro, I'm only 20 years old. Like I can drop Lightspeed next year.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna do that. But
Yeah.
I'm just saying like there's gonna be lots of music. I have lots of time. But at the same time, that's a double-ended sword because there are people out there working just as hard as you. Fuck, I keep going off track, but yeah.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, man. No, definitely taking it more serious now. Taking your time with releases.
That's beautiful. And you're working with videographers as well.
Yeah.
Mostly local people.
Yeah. Well, right now, basically, I'll just explain the team. Right now, it's Isaac Markinson is my manager. Buck is also, I don't even know how to pronounce his last name. I'm not going to try. He's my manager as well. Natasha Dion is my creative director. And then like Jose is on the team as well. He helps with like visuals, same with the teeth. He's helping with the website. I know I'm forgetting some names, but basically like that's just like what we've been doing recently.
Yeah.
You know, I know there's going to be more people coming involved, but yeah, it's a tight-knit circle. But we all move very like what's the word? We all move at once type of thing. We're all on the same page. We have these meetings every day.
Yeah, good communication, right? Yeah.
No, an artist is nothing without his team. So
I like that you said that too, because I like to try and remind the people on the show, but also up and coming artists too, like how important it is when you see these, you know, Drakes and Travis Scotts and, you know, name anybody big.
Exactly, bro.
There's, you know, the average person, the average consumer is just seeing that person, but there's actually there's all the people behind the curtains, right? All the people pulling the strings that are just as important, and maybe not getting enough credit, but that are so valuable, right? So it's really, I think it's so great when we get a chance to talk about them and bring them up and for people to realize, like, you know, the artist is kind of like the what am I trying to say? Like the lead actor, but there's someone picking the costume. There's someone writing the script for them. There's someone, you know, making them sound good. There's someone, you know, and so there's all these pieces.
There is, man. And I need to get this off of my chest, but there's also Brody Harvey. He helps with opposition. Because I don't want to disrespect these people, but some guy, he also helps with the whole creative control. Like there's, who else? Aiden Lawson. There's so many people. Kellen, like you just said, an artist is like, yeah, like he's like the image, but it's all because of all of them are like helping that, you know? Mm-hmm. Like if I were to do this all by myself and I just stayed in Victoria, like I would not even be at like as close to a level as what like I'm trying to get at, you know? So respect to absolutely every single person.
Oh God, yeah. I'm also I know you're not from Victoria, but I'm from Victoria. Yeah. So I'm really curious to hear about what your experience was like there. How long were you there for?
Victoria. I was there for 2 years. The first year, it's a beautiful place, eh? Mm-hmm. I love Victoria. There's a lot of girls there. It's great.
You Vic girls.
Yeah, bro. No, I'm gonna be a gentleman about it. There's some beautiful women.
Yeah.
There's a lot of old people there as well. There's not a lot of black people. I'm just being honest.
Just state the facts, man.
Their milk, shit. Their water, shit. No, I'm kidding. But no, I love Victoria. It was a good experience. I kind of had the experience when I was there. I was in a athlete mentality. Yeah. So I wasn't like there as like maybe the last like 3 months I was there was just getting into the music scene, like with the likes of Codis and Prometheus the Titan and all these artists out there that are amazing. Also Elijah Blonde, but no, it was a good experience. It was a good starting point for me because I felt if I started in Chilliwack, it's much harder to start where like you grew up. I'd say it's kind of weird, but I think starting in Victoria, making it something, and then people from my hometown seeing like, hey, he's doing it out there, we should probably support him. It just kind of sped up the process.
And what brought you there?
What brought me there? I was there for a scholarship for rugby. So they're paying for my tuition. And then I was injured the first year going there, so I didn't actually play. Summer, I recovered. Second year, I played, got injured again.
And what is this? This is a university team? Or?
Yeah, it's UVic. It was the Vikes team there.
Oh, okay. You run through. Okay.
So I was a starting winger, and then I got injured. Sucks.
So there was not a lot. It was your focus there was the sports.
All the time, I was like working out every day, just team thing, everything.
Right. Was there any... so like no music, you didn't get didn't hit up any of the bars, do any sets or...
Well, like definitely like after I got injured, that's when, or probably like around, that's a lie. Like, because the second year happened probably within the next 3 months, I was doing shows at Upstairs Cabaret, Lucky Bar.
Awesome.
I was just going to Sticky Wicket because it's a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It was a good time. It was just the university lifestyle, but just being a rapper.
Yeah.
You know? So like it was dope. It was pretty dope. And like Victoria's kind of small and like the youth there like they don't have like rappers out there. So I was just going at it, and it was really fun, man. I made a lot of good relationships. Shout out to Jonas, first of all. He's my boy. Shout out to Regan, Olive Carrot Gang. But yeah.
And what did your rugby teammates feel about your music?
Some
did
of them
they ever ask you to rap for them? And
yeah, man.
Stuff like that.
I love the rugby team, man.
Yeah.
I love the rugby team there. They're amazing people. But yeah, even the coaches, he would come up to me and he was like, "So you're a rapper now?" I was like, yeah. Like in front of the whole team.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was funny. A lot of them came out to the shows. They supported me. No, it was a good time. They supported a lot. And then when I finally made that transition, even the captain reached out to me and he was like, "I wish you all the best. I'm sorry that injury happened." But yeah, they were amazing people.
That's great.
Yeah.
Having a good team around you once again, right?
Yeah.
How important that is.
It was very motivating,
yeah.
Because that transition would be tough for any individual, So knowing that they're not like, "Oh, why the fuck is he being a rapper?" You know? So yeah.
And how's your knee now?
It bothers me, if I'm honest. It bothers me quite a bit. I know for a fact if I don't get surgery, probably within the next 2 years, I'll probably get like some arthritis in it or something. That's the right word, right? Yeah, arthritis. It like still clicks, like yeah. But no, I'm still going at it because when you have to get ACL surgery, you're probably out for like around 5 months because it's like glass. Like if I just walk or bend it too quickly, it will shatter again.
Yeah.
So that will take me out of shows. That will take me out of a lot of things that I'm trying to get right now. But I feel I'm just trying to sacrifice this time properly and get to a point where I have time to just sit down and I can like, I don't know, fly out to Bora Bora, get surgery, complete an album, 2 birds with 1 stone type of thing.
So you mentioned for the last project, you had the girlfriend and the relationship end and then parting ways with rugby and how difficult that was.
So trippy.
For the new, like what's been like inspiration and motivation for you for this new project?
You're killing these questions. For the new project, I found that because it's a completely different switch, right? I think, and this might sound weird, but the way I find a lot of inspiration, because I had that competitive mentality growing up and coming up from like that single mother and seeing her strive and stuff, I compare myself to others a lot, especially other artists. And I did that when I was playing rugby as well. And I find that when they find success, of course I'm happy for them. I'm always going to be a supporter, but like subconsciously I'm like, yo, if I don't do that, if I don't get that, I'm nothing. Like I always do that. I always make sure I set little goals for me and just look at other artists. If I hear a sound from an artist, I think it's dope and I see like them. And it's not necessarily because I watched this TED Talk last night and he said creativity and attention work hand in hand and it's a negative. It's kind of conflicts each other. So when a person does something creative and they get attention for it, a lot of the individuals around them, they either get jealousy or they find support from it. And that person making creative things, getting attention for it, it drives. Like look at Instagram, for example.
Right.
That's how Instagram literally works, is attention.
Yeah.
So we're literally trained to get attention nowadays. And I'm not necessarily sitting here saying that that's how I find inspiration, but I definitely find it where if I see another individual striving and doing something that I wish to one day accomplish, I put in my little notes, I put in a little brain, like in my brain right here, and I just like sit like, yo, I'm gonna get that. And another inspiration I'm finding is just the people around me, the people that are supporting me, the people that are staying up till 4 a.m. to get cover art finished for me tomorrow.
Right.
The person that is, his girlfriend just got home literally yesterday, but he's taking his time out of the day to come and do sound check with me and practice a rehearsal. Like these are like real human beings that are like helping me, man. And like I swear to God, man, like even my mom, like I just can't wait for the day to come where I can just repay them, and just give them like, hey, yo, like, thank you. Like, and just do it in any individual specific way. Like it almost brings tears to my eyes, man, because like I've sacrificed like so much, man, for these people. And I know they've done the same for me. Like I'm literally sitting on a couch right now. And like, I'm proud to say that because I know that all the time that I'm putting in now and all the time that these individuals are putting in, it's going to be worth it. And that when that day comes, man, like having those people around you and their family and they went through the trenches with you,
right? And
sitting at that table and just like looking at them and man, like it's going to be a good day. That's all I'm saying, So that's what's motivated this album. Sorry, not the album, the EP coming.
Yeah.
That's what's motivated me to just stay strong because if I'm honest, man, like literally last week I like broke down, and I can be mad enough to say it. Like I cried, bro. Like, cause this shit's hard. This shit's hard as hell. This is not cut out for anyone. Being like, and a lot of people perceive like, oh, he's just on social media. Yeah, he's doing these big shows. Yeah, he's doing this and that. And I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I'm saying, man, there's two sides to everything. The grass isn't always greener, but just understanding that, surrounding yourself with core people, and just taking those moments just to sit back and just be like, Corbin, you did this today. Corbin, you wrote a good song here. Corbin, you did good at the show here. Those will keep you motivated, because it's really easy to fall into the realm of seeing what other people perceive you as. And it's really easy to fall into the realm of just self-doubt. Man, it happens a lot.
Yeah.
So those things, just that hunger and proving myself and making it out of the valley, and just knowing that my mom and my dad are watching. My dad came out to my show, my last show, AMS, and I saw him like cry for the first time.
Amazing.
I was like, bro, like,
you're just so proud.
Yeah, I'm just getting it, man. Like,
amazing.
I
dude.
have to.
Yeah.
There's like, so yeah, to people listening, man, if you ever have like, if you're chasing something, just don't have a plan B. Just don't. It's not worth it. You have one life. Just get it. Just understand that's gonna fucking take a long time. But if you don't stop at something, you're gonna get it, regardless.
There's no question that there are gonna be those really difficult moments, those like game-changing moments where you almost rethink everything you're doing, at least once or twice along the way.
Yeah.
And even myself as an engineer, I've had those moments.
I can only imagine, hey?
Where I compare my mixes to some, the black belt mixers out there.
Of course.
And I'm just like, how do I still have so far to go?
Yeah.
Why can't I hear what I hear in my head? I can't make this Pro Tools session sound that way. And it's just
literally my life.
Just break down and just want to like beat the table.
Yeah, it's frustrating,
and then, but then I'll go for a walk, get a coffee and clear my head and just like, all right, we're going to get back in there and we're going to stay all night if we have to see this through, to get it just right, because I want this so bad, the way that I know you want this so bad.
It's crazy, man.
So yeah, just it's been said so many times, so many ways, but like, yeah, just hang in there, just keep grinding, keep doing it, do it for the right reasons. You're doing it for the people you love, for the family, to be able to pay them back, and it's not about like.
It's not about it's obviously the money, it will come and it's going to help to support us doing it further.
Yeah, that'll be part of it.
Yeah, and that's awesome. Thank you very much. But like, man, you hit a nail on the head.
Yeah.
It's about those reasons. It's crazy, man. Being a creative, hey? It's cool. It's really cool. I've never, like, I came from like a stepdad that was very like, because I never met my birth dad. He left when I was born. But, and actually, I'm gonna talk about this. Actually. I've never talked about this ever.
Please.
But I feel confident to talk about it enough. So my birth dad, he left when I was born. His name was Malik McCall, and he was an actor. He's in movies with Eddie Murphy. He was in like I Spy, like all those big movies.
No way.
And it's crazy because I talked to my mom about this not too long ago, and she's like, "Do you ever think that man's gonna come back in the picture once this works out?" And I'm like, "I think it definitely is gonna happen." So it's just basically the reason I'm talking about that is in regards to chasing something. There's going to be a lot of people that are coming back in for the wrong reasons, like friends, family, aunties that have never talked to you before. I love all my aunties. Fuck you.
I know what you're trying to say, though.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. But no, there's always going to be those people coming back in for the right reasons. So just make sure, just keep those right people around you, and they'll be like, "Yo, what the hell is this guy doing here?" So.
Yeah, once they see you on TV, they're gonna be trying to.
Yeah.
So you're honestly like mentally preparing yourself for that, would you say, or like you think about it though? At least
I definitely think about it because when I was younger, when I was in my 16s, I used to cry about that stuff, man. I used to be upset about like being like, "Yo, why didn't he love me? Why did he leave?" But like no, like understanding, man, that like it's his loss. And this is a very touchy subject. The fact that I'm talking about this, I'm not gonna break down right now, but I'm just saying in regards to anyone, because a lot of people can relate, just like loss or just family issues. It's a touchy subject, man. But just understanding your worth and knowing that, I don't know, this is just things that I live by. But like, it feels like I've developed a new family. It feels like, I don't know, it's crazy. You're catching me at a sorry to cut you off, but you're catching me at a very like interesting point in my life.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
Well, it's a turning point. And, you know, all of this stuff,
Crazy.
like I said before, you know, you have that ability as an artist to tap into this.
Yeah.
And you can use this as fuel.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
It's not just hidden away and it's going to eat away at you and, you know, make you sick one day when you're 80. You're,
literally.
you know, tap into that and let it out, get it out, make art out of that.
Yeah, literally. That's one thing I did.
Fuel.
Because I used to have like best friends back then that like crossed me, man, and would like do a lot of messed up stuff to me that I'm not going to mention, but those situations happen to like everyone's human. People are going to make mistakes. But yeah, just like you said, being a creative and using that as fuel, it's the best type of content. Best type of substance, because people can relate. No one wants to hear, yo, I got a chopper in the trunk. I got a Maybach, you know, like, yeah, those things are cool.
Yeah.
And what's one thing that we could talk about is that, like, man, like if you take the people that have actually made it, like, for instance, I'm not going to call out any artists right now, but basically the people that have made it, that are living in those mansions, bro, how are they supposed to sustain that lifestyle of connecting with their fans when they were growing up? They didn't have the paddocks, they didn't have the $1 million houses, because they were rapping about like real life stuff. Now they can base their content off of is that type of stuff, so no one can relate to it. That's why they kind of fall off, because no one can relate to that stuff. So
that's so true.
Yeah.
It's like I can't remember who said this, but basically you wait your whole life to make your first album, and then your second album's the hardest one, because it's like, now I've poured out everything that I know, all my experiences. Here it is, and then maybe the money comes, and your life is different. So it's like, what am I talking about now? About this new life that I have that I'm not used to yet.
No one can relate to.
No one can relate to. So being able to still like, stay true to your roots and tell your truths, and that's so challenging, man.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, there are people that do it well, but you see people come and go. The trends. Oh, this guy's hot right now. Yeah. And then what next album? What have you got? Yeah. What have you got left in the tank? Like,
yeah, man, fuck. There's a lot of one-hit wonders, man. Especially in this day and age with social media, it's crazy.
Yeah. We're in a really unique time, man, where it's saturated to the very brim, and
crazy, bro.
But it's good as a studio owner and engineer, because every person with vocal cords is trying to be a rapper right now. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, you appreciate. Yeah,
I like, come on in, let's try it out. You never rapped before, let's do it. But at the same time, it's like it's that much harder to, like, the forest is thicker. You know.
Yeah.
You gotta to get through it and to stand out.
Yeah.
It's never been more difficult. Like,
it's crazy. Hey, it's crazy.
When I'm 30 now, and when I was in high school, like 2005, there were like 5 rappers. They had the West Coast guys, and you had like the guys, Nelly was really big, 50, Jay-Z, and then a couple guys on the West Coast. But like,
that's so crazy.
Jay's, Kanye was coming out then, but I mean, now it's just,
my God, it's crazy.
Every day there's a new one.
Yeah,
like
literally.
every day by the day, and it's like, so how as fans, how do we keep up, and then B, as the creative people, you got to work that much harder to be noticed.
Yeah. How do you compete? You
got to dye your hair rainbow colored.
Literally to get attention.
Nah,
man. No, I think one thing that I'm trying to stick with is not dye my hair, but like, now create some longevity, man. Because creating quality music, like, what's real will really prosper. X said it first, but what's real will prosper. That's what's gonna get through the forest. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's gonna take much longer. Yeah, if you dye your hair, do those crazy music videos that are entertaining, that's gonna get you to the top. But man, like, I respect people like J. Cole, Kendrick, like these crazy cats that have really grinded. I'm not saying that these new artists haven't grinded at all. I'm just saying, man, longevity and creating that quality music at the beginning, that's what's going to create it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And those are also guys that are writing songs.
Yeah.
I respect those guys, as like a longtime hip hop fan.
Yeah.
growing up listening to people like Common and Talib Kweli and Nas and stuff like that, like real lyricists.
Yeah.
You know, there's not many of them left, but you've got guys like Cole and Kendrick Lamar that are like they're keeping that alive, which I would like the roots of hip hop, the MCing and the skills, and so yeah, big shout out to those guys. So,
but like, yeah, what music have you been listening to lately?
I'm listening to like a lot of R&B.
Yeah.
99% of the stuff we do at 2Track is, you know, it's trap. But I like you know, Bryson Tiller. I like Trey Songz. I'm a hip hop and R&B fan.
You a light skin
I
man.
like the R&B though a lot. Like my favorite artist ever is Stevie Wonder. I have all of his shit, you know, Songs in the Key of Life, you know, that got me through high school, you know. So that's the stuff I really like. The Canadian artist who just won some Junos recently, Daniel Caesar.
Daniel Caesar,
like
bro.
has a voice of an angel.
I saw him live at Vogue.
Oh, really?
He is unreal. That guy is amazing.
Yeah, just really good stuff. So that's the stuff I like to listen to. But yeah, you know what else like that's out right now?
I want to see what's on my phone. I want to see what I'm listening to, man. Dominic Fike, a lot of Dominic. Have you heard of him?
No.
You gotta look him up. Dominic Fike, Northside Benji, Toronto man.
Right. Of course.
Who else? Let me see. Obviously Kid Cudi, Isaac Jacuzzi, Odie.
That's a cool name.
Odie's good too. Yeah. Ty Dolla $ign, Mac Miller. That's me right now.
I'm a big fan of Post Malone as well.
Post Malone. Did you like his new project?
I haven't listened to the whole thing.
Yeah, that's what I've heard from a lot of people.
Yeah.
I haven't gone through it yet.
I haven't gone through it yet. Like, to be totally honest, like my first listen through of the first, 5 songs, it wasn't blown away the way I was when I heard Beer Bongs and Bentleys, which was just like a press play, go all the way through to song 17. And I'm like, these are all bangers.
Every single one.
So I mentioned this on the podcast already, but that was like my #1 album of that year. Yeah. Like it was just so great. Songwriting, lyricism, melodies, production.
Are crazy.
He's so good at that. So
with the white on top. Like so great.
Yeah, I mean, come on. That Rockstar song, just catchy shit. Just fun stuff. They play in the mall nonstop,
Yeah. Like, no, that was wild.
Yeah. But I got to get through the rest of that. I heard he has a song with Ozzy Osbourne.
That one's actually very good, and Travis Scott's on that too.
Yeah,
that one's actually very good.
A friend of mine said he played it on repeat for over an hour when he was at the gym the other day. He just had it on loop on Apple Music. He's like, I've never done that to a song in my life. He's like, it might be the best song I've ever heard. And I was like, and I respect him. He's an engineer himself and makes music. So for him to say that, like, okay, that's pretty big. So I'm gonna have to see. But I want to get in there when I'm in the right headspace and listen through the whole project. As a because I feel like Post Malone is the stuff that he's put out so far it's meant to be listened that way.
It is,
even though he is he's a hit machine. He's still those albums are bodies of work really to
Post
be listened
Malone
to.
is actually out here, hey?
Yeah,
like that man. I would love to watch his creative process. Man, he's crazy.
Yeah. So, the melodic stuff, the singy stuff. I think that's why I was such a big fan of your work as well, because there's a lot of that in there. It's not just, like I said, you can rap, you're rhyming. The beats are strong, but there's also stuff that when I turn it off, it's gonna be stuck in my head, little loops, little melodies, and things like that. So yeah,
that's what I try to tap into. Yeah. Definitely inspired those stages by like Bryson Tiller, her, SZA, those type of people. Yeah, man, it's fun making the melodic stuff, like making the trap stuff. It's kind of like candy, right? Like you can play at the club. It's hot for a minute, but those melodic things, that's what you play on the drive home.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah, and that's what your little sister will be singing, and your mom, and your the people that they're not rap first, they're not hip hop first, they're just regular listeners.
Literally.
You need to put that stuff in your song for those people.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
There's got to be a little bit of something for everyone.
Diversity with artists. That's one thing a lot of people are lacking. But having diversity, that's what's going to create a lot of longevity. You know, you can tap into those different areas. Like for instance, my next song I'm dropping. That's it's like a hard hitting song again, remix. But the song after that is definitely like some tapping into like that melodic type singing type stuff.
Amazing.
Just to show both sides.
Yeah. Hell yeah, dude. Well, I'm stoked for it. Do you have anything you want to say to your fans and to the people out there that are Boslen supporters? I
just want to say thank you very much. I am nothing without one supporter. I'm nothing without 1,000 supporters. So I'm very, very, I appreciate every single person that has been supporting. Very early stages, and I'm excited to look back on this podcast in like 5 years' time, you know? It's going to be crazy. So thank you again for having me, man. I appreciate you, bro.
Dude, 100%.
And to every artist or like creative listening, I'd say, as cliche as it sounds, man, just stick with it through the hardships, man. Because you never know. You never know. There has to be someone up next. There has to be a new Travis Scott. There has to be a new Daniel Caesar. There has to be. So
be a good person and surround yourself with people you trust, right?
Yes,
like you said, like you feel like your team is your family, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
So important as an up and coming artist and an established artist as well.
Yeah, man.
Because those people they're gonna stick with you.
For sure.
Where can people check you out online?
If you put Boslen on Google, something's gonna pop up. It's either SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Music, Instagram is Boslen Official.
Perfect.
Yeah, man, I'm trying to get everywhere right now. But I got some shows coming up. I'm excited to announce them. I got a project dropping in October. So thank you again.
Great. Well, we'll be staying tuned. We'll make sure that we've got links to all your material when the podcast comes out.
Sure.
And we're looking forward to it, man.
Thank you, bro.
Thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it. This has been awesome.
Yeah.
And for everybody listening, I hope you're having a great week, and we will talk to you soon. All right. Peace.